And today we're going to be speaking with a professional in the human resources field, someone who really knows what it's like to deal with stressful situations and employee morale. And we are fortunate that she's able to join us today. She has spent several years working in animal welfare in the Human Resources Division. Since 2011, she started at Atlanta Humane Society, where she has been in charge of employee success. I think that's the best title ever. And so we're really, really fortunate to have Ashley Cassidy, Associate Vice President for Employee Success for Atlanta Humane Society, joining us. Ashley Cassidy is certified professional in the Society of Human Resources Management. She also is credentialed as a professional in human resources. And we're really fortunate to have her here with us today. So Ashley, welcome, and tell me, how are you and how's your team doing?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. We're doing well. This is a crazy time for everyone. And, we've been doing this for, we're going on week 13 now, I believe,
Yes.
which seems hard to believe, but we're all doing well. Everyone, despite the challenges, we're all hanging in there and pushing forward.
Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the unique challenges that you and your team have faced?
Sure, of course. Those first few weeks really were dynamic. Dealing with, from an operational standpoint, how we were going to continue caring for the animals, interacting with our public, what that looked like, moving those who could to work from home. Everyone had their own individual, personal circumstances that we had to consider first and foremost as well. So another challenge early on was not knowing and getting a lot of different information from our public health officials. The guidelines kept changing. Um, you know, things were just changing every day. So, keeping up to speed with what was going on and the best way that we could guide our teams was challenged for sure. There was a lot of planning and then replanning. We did a lot of assessing, and this is what we're doing now. And we've laughed, like, I can't tell you how many plans or processes, protocols that we've written or documented and gone through, and now they're different, or we moved past that phase so quickly we didn't even use that. Let's jump to the next thing. So just a really quickly changing environment. Now that we've been doing this for so long, it seems like things have kind of settled in, but now we're to a different place where it's time to get back to work and go back to normal. So we're sort of in that same place again, where things are changing quickly, and we're trying to pace it appropriately and take the right thoughtful approach to getting folks back now. So
Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the things you've done there at Atlanta Humane Society to really help your teams integrate back into the workplace?
yes, so we, and I'm sure not unlike other organizations, so we did have some employees who continued to come in every day. We, in the first days of kind of moving our administrative functions to remote work, we moved essentially all of our animals out of the building into foster homes, but we still had a few on site. So we had employees coming in to take care of those animals. And we were also able to keep our vet center operational for sick pets or injuries, emergency type situations. So we've had people on site throughout this, and then our vet center actually interacting very carefully, very safely, but with the public throughout this to some extent. So we had some good information from their experience to draw from, and the way that those folks have been handling things and operating on a day-to-day basis. But one of the kind of the forefront and the leading thought through all of this is, as you said, everyone has their own individual circumstance, and everyone is their own person. So, no two situations are going to be the same. So coming from that perspective and thinking, we need to meet people where they are and find out what they need and try to alleviate those fears, to make sure that they feel safe coming back into the workplace. So we've we've gone through a lot of different things there on site. So, posting room occupancy maximums for every, every room, our elevators, conference rooms, offices, things like that. We're practicing social distancing. Everyone is wearing a mask. We've gotten loads of hand sanitizer. I wish I had it here to show you. So we actually had a team put together little welcome bags for those who had not been in the office. And so it had things like alcohol wipes and tissue and your own personal hand sanitizer on a little carabiner, and a mask and some snacks, like some little individual wrapped candy bars, but just some little things to kind of welcome people back.
That's a great idea. That's so thoughtful, and just but it's a simple, small gesture, but I'm sure it really was well received by your team.
Everybody's loved that. They were such, they were in these nice little, just little plastic bags, but it was something that showed, a little bit more thought and effort put into it. So those were waiting for everyone when they came back at our temperature check tables, because everyone's getting a temperature check, as they report to work in the morning. So just trying to think through things, to make sure people understand that, we've got the supplies, we've got everything here. And then we also, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago, we pushed out our written plan in sort of a narrative format for employees, so they knew what to expect when, for those who had not been coming in, so they had an understanding of these are the things that we've done prior to people coming back into the workplace, and then these are the things that we're going to continue doing. We did a lot of things. We did the sanitation, or I should say the disinfecting of all of our buildings through that fogging method, which I'm not familiar. I'm learning all these new things through all of this. So, letting the employees know that we've thought through this, we're following the guidelines that are being issued from the public health officials, and we're doing everything that we can to create a safe work environment. So pushing out that plan and having something that everyone could physically, hold on to, read, go back and reference, I think that was appreciated, because not only did it help everyone understand what to expect, but it also showed that, there is thought being put into this. And then the other piece is that we'll continue to plan. If we've learned anything over these last weeks, it's that things change and they're going to change again. So this isn't a situation where you create a plan and you check that box and move on. It's something that's ever evolving.
Can you speak to some of the ways that you personally, as an HR professional, what have you done to be resilient in this experience?
For me personally, like myself, or for my team? Or
Yes, both. Absolutely.
both? Gotcha. So for our, for our employees, we are fortunate that we have a really great employee assistance program, and they were very quick to put out a lot of resources, doing monthly webinars and a lot of just general resources on self-care. This whole experience, it's forced us to step out of our norm, pushed us out of comfort zones, but a lot of really positive things have come out of it too. And seeing all the resources that are available for people just to focus on themselves, self-care, give yourself grace, trying to put information like that out there for our employees. And we have a company intranet site through SharePoint. And so we put all of this information out there. So we also, our medical insurance provider and our broker have given lots of tools and resources. So making those available, trying to make sure that all of our employees know that those resources are there for them. And just trying to overall just maintain a sense of empathy and understanding, and make sure that everyone knows that, we as an organization, we're here and we want to, again, meet you where you are. Everyone's situation is different. And if nothing else, this is a time where we're going to be flexible and do anything that we can to help ease the anxieties and the stress that people are feeling.
So what have you done to keep yourself motivated, and how are you been able to sustain this journey personally?
And essentially working from home since March 16th. And I've spent, fortunately, we've had really great weather here in Atlanta. So lots of walks with Petunia. She has benefited, the pup has benefited from this greatly. So lots of walks, spending time outside, making sure I've got a clean, calm environment to work in, which wasn't always the case with two small children, but we worked through that too.
Childcare has been a huge issue with this. So
Yes.
can you talk to me a little bit about how you guys have handled that with your teams?
Yes. So we have, I say we've been very fortunate, but it is not for lack of incredibly hard work. So we have an incredible leadership team at Atlanta Humane and great employees and great management. And through all of this, we've been able to retain all of our staff and keep paying everyone fully through this time. So we are so, so blessed and happy to be able to do that. So that, because we were able to come out, and it's something that we had to look at as we go, and we've had to make adjustments through all of this, but we have been able to maintain that and maintain our benefits for our employees. So for each employee, knowing that we were able to do that, I think gave some sense of relief. So we have had employees who haven't been in the facility, and everyone's been contributing and working in some capacity, but they've got the flexibility of taking care of their kids, or whatever they've had to do through all of this, knowing that they can at least still rely on that paycheck coming in every 2 weeks. So
That's really fantastic, and just congratulations on taking care of your team in that way. I know it probably makes everybody feel so much better without that added burden.
certainly.
So you had mentioned that there's a petunia in your life, and I don't imagine she's a flower. And
She
so,
sometimes we refer to her as a delicate flower.
well, do we get to meet her? I'd love to
Of
meet her.
course, of course. Give me just 1 second.
So, oh my goodness, look at those ears. Those are fantastic. Look at her sweet little face.
She's a sweetheart.
What's her
She
story?
an AHS alum. She came in with a litter of pups. It was her and 3 boys. They were born in a barn somewhere in North Georgia. And so they were like, it would be great if she had a foster home, to recover from these surgeries. And I said, yes, that would be great, wouldn't it? And so I brought her home with me that night before her second surgery. I didn't tell my husband that I was bringing her home. I walked in the house and I had her in my arms, and he just said, oh, you got us a puppy. So, and she was our number one child. So she's our girl. She's 5 years old now, and has just started to get out of the puppy phase as far as energy and excitement goes. But
Well, I'm telling you, those ears are fantastic. I love them.
I've actually
So,
had someone stop me walking her and ask me if I crimped the hair on her ears myself, which I think is hilarious to think that.
that is hilarious. I love it. I love it. Well, Ashley, it's been great talking with you and meeting you and hearing about all the great work you're doing at Atlanta Humane Society. And
Thank you.
thank you for participating in the association's On Point HR group, because there's so much information in human resources, and we just really appreciate you helping us navigate it. And we hope we can continue having conversations with you as we continue this journey.
It's a journey that will continue for sure. And yes, I'm happy to do it. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.